Oh, forgot to move this prop out of the way. 1 second. Nobody takes my seat. Well, it's been a while, guys, and I think I have to address the elephant in the room. I already gave my reason on why I was absent for quite some time on my Discord server, which you should absolutely join it in the description below. Don't forget to do that right after you like, subscribe, comment and share the But let me quickly recap what I told everyone there. So basically in the last month, I wasn't able to get much work done on the game since I had family to visit. Another reason being is that when I work on the game, I take pretty hefty amount of time to write the code due to me wanting it to be as much optimized as I can make it. But I hope you guys haven't experienced any performance issues by now. And lastly, I don't really spend 24/7 scripting the game, which is why I don't post frequent updates about Multifarious Front. Also, I'm sorry for not adding much in today's log, but please do have patience. After all, it's my duty to script stuff while you guys can relax. Alright, we already wasted enough time on this long intro, let's just start with what I added. Well, we finally got to the most interesting chapter in the series. At least in my opinion. Just like the chapter says, I made a variety of dummies to really test out your attacks. And I even added an attacking NPC that is so dangerous that, well, it's best that I show you him later. So, let me show you the dummies first. So here is Billy, Bobby, John. So here they are. They're the most basic of basic dummies. Not really anything out of the ordinary. They're there to experiment with the combat system, like which move can be used while being attacked, which moves can be cancelled and which moves can hit dodging and dashing players. And since I wanted to be a bit more unique, I also added a combo dummy which is pretty self-explanatory. Just like the name of the dummy says, it allows you to test your combos out and see how much damage you can do before the enemy, in this case, the dummy, dashes out of your combo. Just take a look at this.
Girl, I see you tomorrow.
Okay, maybe that is a bit unbalanced, but don't mind that. Now, the menace of the game. The attacking dummy. Let me show you the process of me making him. Firstly, for the sake of easier loading and faster testing, I made a new base plate and added a dummy and gave him the famous follow every step AI behavior. And since he looks lifeless while walking, I made it so that a walking animation plays when he targets you. Just look at him walk.
Aww.
Then I remade his walking AI because I don't want it to hug the player every second, and frankly, that's just boring and is already repeated in too many games. Then I also benchmark my code to see how nicely it runs. And after a 20 or so dummies, you can probably see for yourself that it runs nicely. Also, just so you guys know, a follow AI script isn't really hard to run. So 20 NPCs at once won't really bother your PC or mobile device that much, even if you have these. And now since he is halfway ready, I added him in the main game so that I can work on his attacking AI. After importing him to Multifarious Front, which was stupidly easy, I tested how the game would run with 100 bots. Seeing how it was as good as the empty base plate, I did what everyone would do in this situation. And that is to attack them. Well, you won't really be in a situation where you have to fight 100 NPCs at once when the game is finished, so don't worry about your device being obliterated. Also, the script activity is pretty low, so theoretically it won't cause high ping problems. After that, I started with the important part. The self-conscious AI. If I were to rate the difficulty of making the fight back AI, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 rating since it requires a fair amount of code just for the logic for choosing the best attack, not counting for when to dodge and dash. But to be fair, figuring out when to dodge or dash is way simpler than choosing the right attack. Just take a look at how many lines there are. And on top of this AI still has room for improvement, and I mean a lot of improvement. Also, speaking of code, I saw that some of you guys would like me to make tutorials on this channel, so leave a comment down below of what you would like to see me walk you guys through, and once you scroll back up from the comments section, don't forget to like, subscribe with notifications on, and share the video to your friends if you haven't already done so. Also, I'm unsure if I'll start the tutorial series while making the Making a Game because I'm bored series, but I will guarantee make it after I finish this series. Anyways, enough of that. You guys probably want to hear about the bot and not me. So, after a good amount of typing, I pressed play and tested his intelligence out. Okay, maybe I need to balance the moves first. That's basically it for the brains of the dummy. As you saw, it's very unforgiving, but I did manage to beat it from time to time, which means it still needs improvement. Once I iron out the mistakes, I'll make different levels of difficulty of bots so that it's actually fun to fight these NPCs, since nobody likes an absolute perfect no mistake AI that will obliterate you. Roll the next chapter. Okay, shut up. We get it. You might have noticed by now that there isn't many chapters in today's log, but I gave you guys my reason on why I didn't add many things. Either way, we are here to see what I added next, not to repeat what I said. So the first thing on the list is a new ability. It's the ability from the game I got inspired by. There isn't as many moves as I like there to be, nor is the skill tree as big as I want it to be. But at least the moves are pretty special. The first move I started with was one of the roulette moves from God Hand named God Stomp. The animation sucks and the effects looks really bad, but at least it works the way I want it to. Next one I made was Shockwave, which actually is used by the antagonist of the game, Azel. I also plan to make an ability that is more based on his moveset, and if you equip both of these abilities, a special thing will happen, so make sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned on when I add that. Also, a thing to note is that this move was pretty tricky to actually make it right, as you can see by these horrendous fails. Either way, I managed to quickly make it work the way I wanted to. Third move on the list was Head Slicer, which was as easy as God Stomp to make. Okay, that was a bit too fast. And a bit of effects and code later, it works wonderfully. Last move is the iconic move from the God Hand game, where you unleash your hand and beat the ever-living out of your enemies. Firstly, I had to make the bar so you can see when your God Hand is ready to be unleashed. And then I made the code for it to work. Alright, let me fix this up. That's better. Sadly, I didn't make it as OP as in the original game, but for me it's fun. Secondly, I added a suggestion that got suggested by, like, 3 people, which is a just simple tween for the menu GUI and a camera tween in the skill tree. And to be honest, this definitely was a needed addition to the game. I also remade the M2s since I wanted it to be similar to this move in God Hand. Now you have to press your dodge key and right click to do this move. It's basically a counter for high attacks. Also for mobile players, I made it so you just have to press the M2 button, since we know how much mobile sucks. And speaking of mobile, I also added shift lock. And lastly, to continue on the tradition, I added a few Easter eggs. The lucky winners will probably know which Easter egg belongs to who. And that's all the footage I recorded in these 2 months. Sorry again for such lackluster of a video, so please forgive me. I won't promise anything today as usual. And now, not to waste any more of your time, get out of here.